Let's learn a little bit about using context clues. When there's a word that you don't know, it might seem like you need magic to figure it out, but not really. All you truly need is some context clues. So let's say you're reading this great story and you run into this word and you don't know what it means and you start to feel a little discombobulated. What's that? You've never seen the word discombobulated before? Oh, I understand. You don't know what discombobulated means. Well, that's totally understandable. This looks like a wonderful opportunity to introduce context clues. If you know how to find and use the appropriate context clues, there are very few words that you can't figure out. You're using context clues when you use words that you do know to figure out words that you don't know. It sounds like it wouldn't work, but it really does. So let me give you an example. Michaela needed to blank to the house. Because there's nothing in the blank, there's no way we can possibly know what Michaela needed to do. But we have another sentence, so let's take a look at that. Thankfully, she had her sneakers on because they make it easier to blank. Well, sneakers make it easier to do a lot of things, but I'm thinking the main thing that they make it easier to do is run. So if we plug the word run into that sentence, then we know that whatever other word is in that blank probably has something to do with the word run or running. In this case, the word is sprint. But even if it was some other word, we have a pretty good idea that the only word that would work in that blank is a word that would mean run. That's what we mean by using context clues. We're using all the words and things around it in order to help us figure out what the meaning is. See? It's not really all that hard. So let's try another one. Trenton was feeling a little blank. That doesn't really help us an awful lot. So let's try putting a word in there. The word that's in the blank this time is the word drowsy. Now, that's great if you know what drowsy means, but maybe you don't. So let's read on a little bit and see if we can get some more context clues. In the next sentence, we find out that he was worried because he had too much homework to do to go to sleep yet. Well, if he's worried because he's sleepy, because he has so much homework, then we can probably guess that in that first sentence, the word drowsy means sleepy, that he's having a hard time staying awake. See? Context clues. Really easy. Context clues can take words that you don't know and help you figure out what they mean, even if you go and look in the dictionary. Because remember, sometimes the dictionary has multiple meanings in it, and you need to know which one to use. If you use your context clues, you can pick the right definition out of the dictionary. But you don't even have to use real words. You can do context clues with words that are made up. Let me give you this really silly example. Lucy could not wait to get to the... Are you ready for it? Are you ready for it? Slurpty. That's right. You heard me right. Slurpty. I just made that word up. It doesn't really have any meaning whatsoever. But I wanted to do that to show you how you can use your context clues to figure out what a word means, even if it's not a word that you would ever see anywhere else again. Here's the next sentence. All the rides, cotton candy, and fried foods would make it the best day ever. Interesting. So whatever a Slurpee is, it's a place where you can get rides, cotton candy, and fried foods. Wow, that sounds an awful lot like the fair. And if that's what you thought it was, perfect. That was your context clue. A Slurpee is a fair. You figured it out and I made the word up. Aren't you smart? We're using our context clues. In other words, we're taking the words that we do know and using those to figure out the words that we don't know. We're using all the situation around it. And in reality, sometimes that clue can be in the sentence before, it can be in the sentence after, and sometimes it can actually be in the sentence that we're looking at. So let's take a look at these examples from a story that I was reading before. The long hike up to the top of the mountain was extremely grueling. Grueling is the word that we're going to try to figure out here. So let's get some of the distractions out of the way. We have that word extremely, and it's a big word, but the word extremely only means very. And we know that because we see that word in lots of different places, even though it's a big word. So we'll just go ahead and change that to very. This one is going to be a multiple choice question. You run into those a lot in school, so let's try that out. We have choice A, loud, choice B, tiring, and choice C, easy. Well, let's take a look at that. Going up to the top of a mountain is probably not going to be very loud. I mean, it could be, but probably not. There's not a whole lot of things that make noise there. Tiring. I probably would be kind of tired by the time I got finished with a long hike, especially one up a mountain. Let's think about that for a second. Easy. You know, I can say a lot of things about a long hike, but saying that it's easy is probably not going to be one of them. What do you think the answer to this question is? Take a second, write it down. Did you say B, tiring? Very good. I can tell that you worked really hard at this. B, tiring is the right answer because of all the clues that are actually in that sentence. A long hike to the top of a mountain. The only real answer to that question can be B, tiring. If that's what you chose for grueling, that's the right answer. Grueling means tiring. Very, very good. So let's try another one of those multiple choice questions. The conspicuous man wore a purple wig and large glasses. The word that we're going to try to figure out here is the word conspicuous. Conspicuous. Okay. Our answer choices are A, easily noticed, B, beautiful, and C, sleeping. Well, let's go back and take a look at this sentence. There is nothing in that sentence that would show that the conspicuous man was sleeping anywhere. There's no bed. He's not in a bedroom. It doesn't say anything about him being tired. What about B, beautiful? Well, I mean, I suppose a purple wig and large glasses could be beautiful. Maybe. Or A, easily noticed. A purple wig and large glasses. Is anybody in here wearing a purple wig and large glasses? I don't think so. Would probably notice them if they did. Wow, this is a tough one. Take a few seconds to think about it and write down your answer. Did you say A, easily noticed? Yeah, I knew you did. I could see how much work you were putting into it. It's not the easiest thing in the world to do, but man, if you put the work into it, you can usually figure it out. And you did. The correct answer is A, easily noticed. What's that? Oh, you still want to know what discombobulated means? Okay, fair enough. So as we were talking about, I was asking whether you've ever been reading a story and you find a word that you don't know and you're just totally discombobulated. Well, if you think about that situation and you're reading and see a word that you don't know, you get a little confused. Confused. See, the word was right there all the time. If you think about the situation that you're in, you can find context clues, even sometimes in really short sentences. Because you were discombobulated, you didn't know what the word was, that made you confused. See, it's right there. All you have to do is do the work for it. And now you know what the word means. Context clues. Using words that you know in order to figure out the words that you don't know. See, it can seem like magic, but it really isn't. What it's about is doing the work to look around in the rest of what you're reading to try and figure out what the actual meaning is. I guess you could say that context clues could be the key to the key, like the key. Oh, okay. I get it. The joke's not funny. Oh well, context clues.